In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can create a grid view of your last test runs and the status accordingly. For this, I'm going to go on my dashboard module. So let's click on Home and then on Dashboard. What I'm usually doing if I create new dashboards is I use the existing widgets and slightly modify them. Especially when you're new, this can help you and can make you faster. In this case, as I'm looking specifically to a quality topic, I'm going to go into the quality folder of the widgets. By the way, once you're a bit more advanced, you can always create your custom graphs and do whatever you're looking for directly yourself. Last run status by application model is the one I'm going to start with, and I'm going to add this to my dashboard. Again, for remembering, I'm looking to display the last run status in a grid view of all my manual runs. So what I can see here, what I'm getting here is I see that this is now a summary per application module. Now that's not a grid view, so let me go in and click on this filter up here to change that. So last test runs as an item type is already correct. That's fine. Now there is no release selected. I will do that to make sure that we have a meaningful data in there in this demo environment. I will remove all filters which I think are not relevant. So at the moment I have no filter except of the release that is selected up here. And you can see that the workspace is also defined here, where I can see also that I have capabilities of selecting different ones. Now, as a next step, I'm going to the display items, and I can see that here I can choose how I would like to display the data, summarize in a bar, horizontal or vertical. Then I have a pie chart, and the last one is I have a grid view. If I click on the grid view, it will change the lower part down here, and it would just tell me how you would like to sort. This little information here will say that this is going to be ignored because application module is not a sorting view in this grid function. Now for this, I'm going now to select the native status. For people that are wondering why do I have native status and status. Status is a derivation from Octane using some logic that will help you to group your test cases. Now, to recognize my native or my status, which I have given to my test runs, I'm going to use native status. Then I would like to see who the tests have been run by. So as a second sort, and you can see I have here a grid limitation of 25. I can increase that if I like. I can basically say, for example, 50, and then it will show a bigger grid view. Okay, I can go in the preview to see if that is what I want to do. It looks pretty okay. Let me say save and look it into the bigger context. Maybe also one thing in the dashboard view, you can always define your dashboards yourself. There is different grouping that can be done. For example, if I go on 100%, I will really use the full view here, and I can add actually additional columns to make it exactly the way on how I would like to see it. Okay, so here I can see now really all my test cases and passed, failed, planned, and so on. That's really up to what I would like to see. Good. That was the first thing with the grid view. Maybe as a small add-on, here you can always export it also into Excel if you want to work with it in Excel. Let me now come back and say there is one more request now that came in. And the request that came in was I would like to see not only for this release, but I would like to see it across releases, but in a summarized view. Okay, so let me quickly change that a bit. So I'm sorting that, and I will add actually the same widget again. So last run status by application module, add that to the dashboard, and then I'm going to change it now. So make sure that you clean filters which are not relevant for you. And you can see the scope here, last test runs, that looks correct. And now we wanted to see it across releases, not only with one, but maybe we can select 2. We could also select 3. Let me do now with 2 and to see how that looks like. Okay. All test runs up to now, that's good. By the way, I have not filtered on manual test cases, so or manual test runs. So it would include the automated tests. If I'm interested to only select specific manual tests, then I can do that here, and I can say OK, and it will only show me manual runs. Okay. An additional filter, if required, could be added as well. Here, as many as you like. I'm going to the display items. Now that's correct. I want the bars and not the grid view. And now I would like to see in the x-axis the release, not the application modules. The count is correct, and maybe I want to go back to my native status. I say save. So now I've selected 2 releases. You can see the status on this release, and you can see the status on this release. Think also well that you can always go in and click on specific buckets. So for example, now I clicked on the planned ones for a specific release, and I can see all the tests which are planned in this current release. You can also see that I even have the iterations on which those will have to be run. Same thing you can do here, for example. There are only a couple of ones here, very limited ones. And that's what you can do also across releases if required. I also have received other questions in regards to displaying my manual tests by release, by browser, and so on. So again, this can be changed very quickly and very easily. And we'll just not go to the release, but I'm going to go to the environment. And I can say, for example, browser, or I can say DB, operating system, distribution, and so on. So whatever you have set up in your environment, and you can view the quality or the status of the quality by browser. Bear in mind, in this case, I have two releases, so we'll see if that makes sense. But you can see anyhow, I only have tested in Chrome. If that's good or not, that's not to be discussed here, but this is what it is. So this is how to play around with widgets, and you will see that they're very quickly to be changed, and you can also duplicate them. So once you have created something and you would like a small derivation, as we just did, I can go back here. I can just say release, and it will be created in no time. And I have back my view like this, and I can do that for browsers, operating system, environments like dev, production, pre-prod, and so on. And I can really play around with those widgets quite easily. One more last thing: save your views. This is really important. You can, when you are in a view that you change, you can update it, or you can say, I create a new dashboard. I can call it demo dashboard, and I can say save, and it will be there for you to switch from one view to the other. I think it's very helpful. A quick change. I go into Joel's dashboard, and you will see something completely different, release, burn down, and so on. That's it for this session. Thanks a lot.